Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ooh, how about this hair, huh? It's a chilly, windy one this morning here in PA, and I couldn't think of a better place to start this episode of The Tattooed Traveler than right here at the site of the Immaculate Reception. You football fans know all about this, and I'll fill you in on that in just a moment. But the highlight of today's video, and you're going to want to share this one with everyone you know, is a visit to a very special neighborhood. I'm going to take you to the actual set of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The most famous play in football history, and it took place right here. Three Rivers Stadium, where the Steelers came back to beat the Raiders on that cold December day, is little more than a parking lot now. But this memorial pays tribute to one of the greatest moments in sports history, a moment that made legends out of Terry Bradshaw and Franco Harris. Now, I know we're here to visit Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and we're going to in just a moment, but Pittsburgh is such a great sports town. It's impossible not to get caught up in it. And right next door is the Western Pennsylvania Sports Museum. And someone told me if you stop in, you'll have the chance to touch a piece of the turf from the Immaculate Reception. This turf was on the field on December 23rd, 1972. And on the outside of the museum, you can see it on your way in or on your way out, is one of the goalposts from Three Rivers Stadium. Big stuff if you're a Steelers fan. And now, what you've been waiting for. Taking you to the Heinz History Center, and this is the actual set from the television show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. This show was such a huge part of my childhood. It ran from 1968 until 2001, and every kid wanted to be Mr. Rogers' neighbor. He would come through that front door, go to this closet, get out his sweater, sit down on this very bench, and put on these shoes. Sperry topsiders is what he wore most of the time, sometimes Converse. He incorporated a lot of puppets that inspired the imagination of children. This is X the Owl's tree and the schoolhouse where Henrietta Pussycat lived. Would have been great to have been a puppeteer on this show. Mr. Rogers did a lot of the puppeteering and the majority of the voices, if not all of the voices himself. You can also walk right up to King Friday XIII's castle. Remember this? All of these characters lived in the land of make-believe. Mr. Rogers' real name was Fred McFeely Rogers. He passed away in 2003, but devoted his career, look at that, the steps. How many times did he come through that door? Wow. Devoted his career to making children feel special and unique and valued. And his wardrobe, these sweaters, were specifically designed to make kids feel more welcome and comfortable with him. There's Mr. McFeely's bike, more of the puppets that were used on the show. So cool, man. Wow. Remember this little guy? Daniel the Tiger? I used to love the way Mr. Rogers spoke directly to the camera as if he was talking just to me. And he would change into that sweater at the beginning of every show to provide routine and a sense of comfort that he felt were so important to a child's development. A special guy. I tell you what, if you grew up in the 70s or the 80s, even part of the 90s, it's kind of hard not to get emotional thinking about Mr. Rogers and all the hours we spent watching that great show. Loved it. I choked up a little bit, not gonna lie to you, especially when I got to see the puppets. Come on. As you can see, the door of the bus is open, which means we're about to set off to another great... Oh, there he is. There's our bus driver. Great. We're about to set off to another great destination, so please subscribe to the channel, like this video. I don't want you to miss out on a thing. Is he hiding back here? Where is he? Todd Newton, the Tattoo Traveler, thanks for hanging out with us. And until we meet a little further down the road, travel safely, my friend.